Hello and welcome. You're watching Revsportz. I am Rohit Juglan, and here in Manchester at this point of time, Indian team just completed their practice session and they are off to their hotel. But what happened today? Obviously, the main chatter will be around again the very important, the very one question, which is I'm hearing from the very first day I entered this country, and before that also, that when will Vaibhav Sooryavanshi make his debut? So it's again, let's address the elephant in the room at the very start, that it is again looking very difficult at this point of time. We were there in the press conferences, and almost now 4 press conferences, 2 from 3 coaches, one obviously Sudhanshu Kotak to start with, then obviously Ryan Tendeskate, and then obviously today Mone Mokal. So all of them clearly saying one word, that you have top 2 batters to start with, Abhishek Sharma and Sanju Samson, and then there is Ishan Kishan also. So who do you replace is their only question when we are asking about the debut of Vaibhav Sooryavanshi. So that remains there as far as Mone Mokal is also concerned, that it wasn't about that there is any doubts on him, it wasn't about that he's not ready. Indian team is not saying this, but yeah, he has to wait and he has to be ready also. If at any point of time there is a chance given to him, then he should be ready. But on the other hand, multiple things have happened in the practice, and it looked like that there could be a possibility that they can change a squad a little bit, because at this point of time, yes, it's sunny here, but when we arrived here in the morning, it was damp. It was quite damp at that point of time. The weather as far as game day is concerned is again not very good. We have seen what happened in Durham. We know what exactly the weather scenarios are telling us as far as the weather apps are concerned here in this particular place. But today in the practice session, obviously a different kind of practice as far as Shreyas Iyer is concerned. He started obviously the net practice, which almost he did for 40 minutes, 45 minutes. He was the first one to hit the nets along with Sanju Samson, and then he came at this very ground. And you can see in the visuals also, like how he's doing the shadow practice, and he spent some time there. Then he had a little chat with fielding coach T. Dilip. Mone Mokal was also there, and obviously Arshdeep Singh was also there. Mainly it was Mone Mokal and Arshdeep Singh. Then again he was pointing towards different directions, maybe the field positions, and then he was again what we saw is he's again doing the shadow practice. So usually you don't see Shreyas Iyer doing these kind of things, but obviously he was obviously thinking of the wind also. That was also in his mind when he was preparing for this particular shadow practice session. And after that, he was seeing different things as far as the angles and the field positions are concerned. So Shreyas Iyer, obviously one who looked really well as far as the nets are concerned, and he looked really well in that Durham game also. The kind of half century he scored, it clearly gives you an idea that at this point of time he's looking really good with the kind of batting form he's in. We saw in the IPL that what he can do, and here also that how he can change the course of the innings, individual also, and India's batting part also. The second thing is obviously about the promotion of Suryan Shedge. So in the first 5 batters, he was there. Suryan Shedge was there in the top 5 batters who started batting today. Not very much in the bowling front, but quite a lot as far as batting is concerned. So one major focus, India's major focus in the nets was Suryan Shedge. There was a lot of chatter around Washington Sundar also. He was the last one to finish off with the nets, and coach Gautam Gambhir had a session with him. One-on-one he chatted a lot. Gautam today chatted a lot alongside Sudhanshu Kotak. He was there with Tilak Verma also after he finished his batting. And then there is something around the bat flow and something around the kind of shot selections he was doing. There was a lot of chatter around that also. So today it looked like that India is preparing more for the spin, and it's a dryish kind of wicket. Yes, rain was there and it is in the prediction charts also, but here in last couple of months, because we are in the mid-summerish kind of thing, so it's not very fresh as far as the wickets are concerned. Last year we also saw it was England who scored 300 plus runs in this very ground. So there's a lot to, as far as this particular pitch is concerned. The kind of batting India have, they are obviously not only top heavy, but it's a heavy batting lineup, batting almost to 8 and 9. So a lot of things as far as India's practice session is concerned. A lot of batting for Ishan Kishan. He started against spinners. Then a lot of batting for Shreyas Iyer. A lot of batting for Suryan Shedge today also. Even the bowlers like in the likes of Akshar Patel, Washington Sundar, Arshdeep Singh, Harshit Rana, Shivam Dubey, they all batted for long. But yeah, the major focus was especially Ishan against spinners, Tilak against spinners, and then the time spent by Shreyas Iyer, be it in the nets or in the middle. There were a lot of catching sessions also done by this Indian cricket team, and that's also tells you that what their focus is at this point of time, because we have seen them dropping a lot of catches, and I'm not blaming fielding coach on that, but there are individual players whose fielding positions, I think, is very important when you are selecting a particular fielder, that we want this particular fielder on a particular fielding position. Then you must see that is this particular position is exactly is the right position for the fielder also, because sometimes I think most of the occasions when I see this Indian team dropping catches, I think it's not about technique. I don't think it's not about the kind of environment they are fielding in. Dubai is completely different from a Belfast, but the kind of fielders you're placing in a particular position. So that's my observation around it. So there are a lot of things going on as far as the new new journey of Indian cricket team is concerned. From after becoming the 2026 world champions, now they have a LA Olympics also. Now they have a Asian Games also, right? A couple of months away, and then obviously they have a T20 World Cup in coming 2 years. So there is a lot to watch out for. There is a lot to see as far as this team and their preparations are concerned. We'll try to give you all the details, but as of now, this is what we have.